Hey everyone, I just want to make this video real quick to show you all some stuff I've learned about FlutterFlow. I'm not using Firebase, I'm using Xano for my backend, even though I am still using Firebase, but only for two features, which are I'm going to be using social logins and push notifications. So I'd rather use that than a different service. So back to this issue. I basically have almost like a Reddit style feature in my app, right? Where people can make posts and people need to see, right, if they've liked a post when they come in. So the way I'm doing that is that I'm storing all this information in my backend. And that's also used for my notification system, like the in-app notifications, like someone liked your post or commented on your post or blah, 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 right? Basically, the way the toggle icon works is that it only accepts app state or page state. Okay, cool. So I created this flow and it wasn't working. And then it was working on, I worked with a support agent, a FlutterFlow support agent for a couple of days, and neither of us could solve it. He kind of helped me find a way to get to the answer, and that had to do with knowing Flutter and knowing how Flutter works. And basically the issue was I'm doing an on-page load to get the likes. Here, let me show it to you on this older page. So I'm getting a list of likes, right? And essentially they're just a list of IDs. And these are tied to the IDs of each comment or each post, right? And the issue is that on page load, it starts like, even though this is a 0.1 second response, like I just added this wait, but yeah, my API call is just a 0.1 second call, and essentially Flutter starts painting the page and like painting the widgets before, like even before that happens, and then it just messes everything up. And so the solution to that was create, also update a Boolean and then create a conditional visibility. Okay, so I did that, and it was working in run mode and not in test mode. And we kept working on it and neither of us could find a solution. Eventually he said, try and ask maybe some of the FlutterFlow experts or the community and see if anybody knows what's going on. And I did, and nobody could help me. Anyways, so that's why I'm creating this video, is because I solved it myself. And I worked on other ways to do this, and essentially what I had to do is I ended up doing it through my login flow, because doing it on an earlier page kind of helps a little, I guess. And so here's the likes, and I put it into a list. And see, I essentially was using a list of integers because that's what it is. And if you go and look in the API section of FlutterFlow and you test the call, it spits out a list of integers, and it knows that. It identifies it as that. But for some reason, it wasn't working. This is also JSON, but it's a string, right? The variable type. But it accepts that, but it wasn't accepting this list. Anyways, so I essentially do that on my login. And from there, I pass it. The other issue is that I couldn't even get it to work by doing that. So I can't, this toggle icon is tied to a page state variable. That's where I'm holding this. And because it wasn't even working with the app state. So what I ended up having to do was jump through a ton of hoops. So if I go, for example, to my navbar, and this is how you get to that page, I'm passing as a page parameter this list of integers. And here I have that list of JSON that we, updated the app state based off of the login flow. And eventually, so when you navigate to it, it'll pass it as a page parameter, which you'll see up here. And even though it was JSON on the other page, it's now a list of integers. And then that on page load, we end up updating the page state variable with it. And then we also update that Boolean to unhide this, which starts painting the widget. And essentially I can show you how it works. So you can see right there, it is, I could start a new test session, but yeah, you can see like, these are the 3 posts that I've liked. Great. And finally got it working, but look at the workflow that I had to do. And this was one thing that I didn't want to, the nice thing about using your own custom backend in Xano is like, I can wrangle the data however I like, or however my front end needs it, which is FlutterFlow, right? And it's supposed to be super easy, but this FlutterFlow just has way too many bugs and problems with it, and is lacking so much documentation that goes beyond Firebase. And they just keep releasing too many new features before they fix bugs. And I could go on and on about what I like and dislike about this platform. So yeah, essentially, I hope this helps somebody, and let me know. I'll be making another video on how I'm integrating Xano and Firebase, and I have push notifications and everything working. Essentially, I'm trading the Firebase identity token, which is the JWT that you can see within Firebase or within FlutterFlow. It's under the authorization variable, and I'm trading that for an access token, a Xano access token, and using that to authenticate all throughout my app. But yeah, I'll make another video on how to set all that up, because I know a couple of people were asking about it. But yeah, I hope this helps somebody, and I'll try and make some more videos helping other people who are not using Firebase. And the reason I'm not using Firebase is because this is for a client, and they did not want a pay-as-you-go solution. They already have a ton of users, and so they can't basically use something like that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you have any questions or need help.